guys, it is April from Getting Hygge with It. Today I am doing the 5 quotes tag. I was tagged by Life Between Words. Thank you so much for tagging me. I'm really excited to do this one, so let's just dive right in. The first quote is from Zora Neale Hurston from Their Eyes Were Watching God. It's one of my absolute favorite books. There are years that ask questions and years that answer. I really think that this is the kind of quote that I should print out and stick somewhere for myself as a reminder, because I really think that this is true of life. There really are years that ask questions and years that answer. But in the years that ask questions, I find it so hard to get out of my own head and recognize that it's just a question year. We're just in question mode, and it's okay, and you don't need to control it. The next quote is from Margaret Atwood in A Handmaid's Tale. I look up at the ceiling, tracing the foliage of the wreath. Today, it makes me think of a hat, the large-brimmed hats women used to wear at some period during the old days. Hats like enormous halos, festooned with fruit and flowers and the feathers of exotic birds. Hats like an idea of paradise, floating just above the head, a thought solidified. Margaret Atwood is such a gorgeous writer. You can literally see the hat in your mind. It's so vivid, and I love that every person reading this quote is going to be imagining a totally different hat. It's wonderful. I am so proud that Margaret Atwood is Canadian. The next quote is from Lloyd Jones in Mr. Pip. I love this quote because it's just a quote about books and reading. A person entranced by a book simply forgets to breathe. The house can catch a light, and a reader deep in a book will not look up until the wallpaper is in flames. And that is so true. And I think we're always looking for that next book that's going to throw us so deeply into a book that is what happens to us. I'm always looking for that, and there have been a few books that have done that, most definitely The Light Between Oceans, Pride and Prejudice, and I'm always looking for the next one. The next quote is from Jacqueline Woodson in Brown Girl Dreaming. Deep winter and the night air is cold, so still, it feels like the world goes on forever in the darkness, until you look up and the earth stops, in a ceiling of stars. My head against my grandfather's arm, a blanket around us, and we sit on the front porch swing. It's wine like a song. You don't need words on a night like this. Just the warmth of your grandfather's arm. Just the silent promise that the world as we know it will always be here. She has such lyrical writing, and this quote brings me right back to my childhood, and I can vividly imagine myself with my Poppy, who I dearly loved. It makes me miss him all the more. The final quote is by Britt Bennett from The Mothers. This quote is from the characters of the mothers in this church, and they are kind of advising in their own way the main character who has an unplanned pregnancy. We would have told her that altogether we got centuries on her. If we laid all our lives toes to heel, we were born before the Depression, the Civil War, even America itself. In all that living, we have known men. Oh girl, we have known little bit love. That little bit of honey left in an empty jar that traps the sweetness in your mouth, long enough to mask your hunger. We have run tongues over teeth to savor that last little bit as long as we could. And in all our living, nothing has starved us more. I could honestly cry reading that. I have also known little bit love in my life, and it brings me back to those times where I chose a man or a boy who wasn't worth the effort. And so happy that I found my husband. I wish that in my 20s, going through dating craziness, I would have had this quote, and maybe the Zora Neale Hurston one too. I really loved this tag. It's so much fun to go through all of your favorite quotes. I have many more favorite quotes, of course, so I could do this tag several times, but so much fun. Thank you so much, Katie, for tagging me in this video. I would like to tag A Girl in a Book and also Happily Ever Esch. If you have a favorite quote that is really dear to your heart and has helped guide you in some way in your life, I would love to hear it. So please comment below and I will see you next time. Bye!